Greetings, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 friends, and welcome to Patriot 6. This tutorial is part of a series of single subject videos designed for quick reference to supplement my long-form tutorials. If you're new to using SDK or need a refresher on the tools, I recommend a tutorial on getting started and learning the tools. This tutorial will give you all the basics from obtaining SDK and setting up scenery folders to operating the developer camera and building polygons. You can find a link to this tutorial in the description below. Please click on the Show More button and the tutorial will be the first YouTube link you see. And now on to the quick reference guide. Before I upload each video, I go through the video and mark timelines to set chapters. And I do this to make it more convenient for the viewer. Anytime you're watching one of the videos, you can drop down to the description, tick on the Show More, and as you roll through the Show More, it will have pertinent information like the Patriot 6 channel, the Patriot 6 scenery group, Discord, any videos that I believe are relevant to the subject, and then you get into the chapters of the video. This is the subject content, and here are the basic tutorials. You can skip around, or you can come back and find a chapter that you may need to rewatch later simply by ticking on the number. And you will immediately go to the chapter that you selected. In this quick reference guide, I'm going to start a fictional airport package. The first step is to find a suitable location for a fictional airfield. Most likely you have a location already in mind, but for me I had to select a place. Select a site for the fictional airfield. And I've selected this ground here. It's in western Kentucky, and when I was a young man, this used to be a farm airfield. So I'm going to use this as my fictional airfield. Obtain the airfield coordinates. And I'm simply in Bing Maps. So I'm going to right-click in the center of this location and go down to the option that says Copy, and I'm going to copy the GPS coordinates. And here is a text editor, and in this text editor, I'm going to paste these coordinates because we're going to be needing it. And it is vital that we use the correct coordinates for the airfield package. Obtain the airfield location elevation in meters above mean sea level. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to find the elevation at this location. And here is a website that I have found, and I will link this website below. And this website allows you to pop in GPS coordinates and get the elevation in meters. And we do need it in meters for MSFS 2020. So I'm going to paste the coordinates in and calculate. And the result is 115.2 meters. And I'm going to place the elevation 115 meters into the text editor. Developers mode. Now that we have a location selected, let's go into Developers mode by going to Options, General Options, Developers, On, Apply and Save. Zone into the location. Now let's go back to the world map and let's copy the GPS coordinates again from the text editor. And let's paste the GPS coordinates in the search bar. And now I'm going to change aircraft because I want something that doesn't make a lot of noise because this aircraft is going to be hovering in the sky. And now I'm going to start over here, but we'll be working in this area here. I'm going to make sure the live weather is off and the time of day is roughly around noon. And you see I will be airborne at 1,500 feet. Steps before opening editors. And now in the area, I'm going up to the developer menu. I'm going to Options, and I'm going to pause the simulation so that the Velociraptor doesn't fly over into the Ohio River. And now I'm going to select Ready to Fly. Now I'm going up to the developer menu. I'm going to select Camera and grab the developer camera. Open the scenery editor. And now I'm at the location, and we're going to have a lot of work to do once we get through these quick reference guides. Because obviously the AI believes that trees are in here. So there's going to be a lot of work, and this is going to be fun. We'll take these quick reference guides in small bites and build a fictional airport here. So the next step is to open up the scenery editor. So on the developer menu, I'm going to Editors, and I'm going to Project Editor. And the first thing I'm going to do on the Project Editor is go to View and bring up the inspector. Build the scenery folder. In the next step on the project editor, I'm going to Project and select New Project. So the first step is to go up to the project folder and select the folder where you want the airport to be saved. I want it to be saved in the working scenery folder. This is a folder I use when I'm working scenery. I'm going to select that folder. And I'm going to have to come up with an ICAO code. So I'm going to use the ICAO code I plan to use for this fictional airport as the name. P6KY. And now I'm going to create the project. I'm going to select Package and hit Next. I'm going to select Airport. I'm going to enter the same name, P6KY. I'm going to tick Next. And now the option comes up to override an existing airport or create an airport anywhere. And since this is fictional, I'm going to use Create Airport Anywhere. Now you can tick Generate New ICAO, and all that will do will put the letter A in alpha up here. I'm going to type in P6KY. And now I'm going to give it a name. Now we want to go ahead and enter our lat and long because it has to be accurate. If we don't get the accurate lat and long, the airfield will not show up in this location on the map. And I'm going to copy the latitude first. And now I'm going to grab the longitude. And copy that in. And now we want the altitude. And the altitude is also on the text editor, 115 meters. So I enter 115 meters in altitude. So now we've selected Create an Airport Anywhere. I have entered an ICAO. I've given the airfield a name. I've entered the correct latitude and longitude and the correct altitude. And now I'm going down and create the airport. And you'll notice information is now up in the inspector, along with the package name down in the project editor. It's a long name, but that's okay. Add your own thumbnail. And now I'm going to add a thumbnail. And in the tutorial I've referenced several times, it shows you how to make your own thumbnail. So I'm going to tick on the thumbnail placeholder and grab the thumbnail I have created and add it. Important: create the initial package. Important. And this next step is vital. If you do not build the initial package, nothing will work and you will be stuck. So at this point, I'm going to build the initial package. On the inspector, down here on the bottom, build package. And this dialog box always pops up. It's safe. It's just letting you know the information has changed. And basically what has changed is my thumbnail. But it's safe, so tick yes. And the package is now built. And on the console you will see errors at the top. And there are 144 potential errors, but I have contributed 0. And that's a good thing. Now I'm going to exit out of the console, Confirm the initial package is complete and in the specified folder. The package is already built, and if we pull up the working scenery folder, we can see P6KY folder in here with information in it, including the package. So we have a good start here. So at this point in time, let's go ahead and get the windows set up. Down on the scenery editor, I'm going to tick on the package and tick on the scenery BGL, and the inspector has now changed, and I'm going up to load into editor on the inspector and load. Several windows pop up for me. The scenery editor pops up. You may not have the objects or the gizmo, but you can get to those from the scenery editor by ticking view, and make sure you tick gizmo, and make sure you tick objects. In addition to that, the material editor is up, but I typically keep the material editor on a second monitor out of the way. And it will take a while for your scenery library to load in, so you patiently wait till all of the scenery loads in. The scenery library has now loaded in, as you can see all of the objects. Now as we add things to this project, they will begin to populate down here in the scenery editor. At this time we don't have any scenery that we've added. So all we have now is the airfield. So on the scenery editor, I'm going to view and bring up properties. Here's the properties window. I keep it over on the inspector, just so it doesn't take up any room on the screen. And as we work this project, anything that we're ticked on in the scenery library, the properties of whatever we're ticked on will pop up on the properties window. And now the project is set. And if you'll notice right now, I'm ticked on the airfield, and you will see the marker out here. This is the center location, and this is based off the GPS coordinations. So we know we have everything good and ready to go and start to build our fictional airfield. Even though I haven't added anything, I'm going to save the scenery. Close the tools. So now with the initial package built and with the scenery saved, even though we don't have any scenery added yet, I'm going to close down the tools, material editor, the scenery editor, and the project editor. And we wouldn't have been able to close these tools down without the simulator coming up with a reminder if we had not been in good shape in terms of everything being saved. But I got no reminders or no warnings, so that means we're in good shape and can pick this up at a later date. Wrap up and additional information. And I will stop right there. I'm going to do this in small bites that you can absorb, and also you can come back to these anytime you need to and not have to go through a lot of content to find what you want. But I will continue this video and make many more quick references as we step through building a fictional airfield. And these quick references will continue to come out until we get all the way through it. If you're not a subscriber of Patriot 6, please consider subscribing, so when the next quick start guide comes out, you will be notified. If you like this, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, you can leave those below. There are limitations to what we can fix over YouTube chat. There's other alternative ways you can reach me, and you can find that in the description below. And I want to thank you for watching this quick reference guide in this Patriot 6, and I will see you very soon.